Well, sixth grade, here is your video for your art for project number 20. And I'm going to show you how to do the rocket, which is the thing that that you're basically assigned. Looking here, they sort of give you an idea of what you're going to be drawing, which are basically ellipses. Now you have a circle, but an ellipse is sort of like a squished together, or a circle you're looking at an angle really more than anything else. And so we're going to follow the directions here. First, they're going to ask you to do a practice, or a couple of practices here, and they give you an idea, learn how to draw ellipses freehand, beginning with a round circle. And then, so you start with a round circle maybe, then you start progressing toward more of a, as you can see, you're flattening it out depending on what you need. Now you see the rocket here, the different ellipses that you have, they're all about the same distance. Of course, the bigger the circle, or the wider the part, the wider the ellipse and the smaller the ellipse. And so we're going to look at the directions then of what to do, which are right here. To do the rocket, which is your one of the assignments you can do, or you can do the module, the command module, which was for the Apollo missions, and these are the Apollo rockets. So starting off, and it gives you sort of directions. It tells you to draw lines through the middle of the ellipse as shown to determine the placement of the cone's point. If you're going to do that one, marked angles should be equal. Finish drawing the cone, sketching lightly, redraw the lines firmly, erase unwanted lines. I'm just using a regular pencil here. But I'm going to do the rocket. And so you see here, they give you the steps side by side, makes it a little bit easier, I think, anyway. So I'm going to do the rocket. Now I can make it as big, or you want to make it, don't make it too much smaller than what you have here. But I'm going to start off, and I'm going to make the ellipse there. Now, you notice they tell you to try to keep it light, and so I'm going to do that. I'm going to try to keep it light at first. All right, and then I'm going to do, that was the smaller one. I'm going to make a little bit bigger one for right below it. And you can see how just slightly overdoing it. All right, I'm going to go down a little ways. I'm going to make my next one, which is about the same size as this one here. And I'm going to move it over a little bit. And remember, I can erase these. It's not hard to do. But you know, one of the things you can kind of give yourself where the edge is, and then you bring it straight down and straight down here. Okay, so I'm going to do my ellipse in the middle of that. That helps me to get an idea of what I'm doing. I have my point of my rocket here. All right, and then, you know, just take out that. This is going to be the front side of it, and so you see here they have a little bit of an angle for the next part of the rocket. And so again, I'll put my ellipse, which is about that size now. And so I've got my edges. So you see I put a whole bunch of ellipses here, so I can easily then make my sort of erase until I have my one ellipse that I want for the outer part. And so you see how it works well there. All right, then I'm going to draw my lines, try to get it as straight as possible. You can use a straight edge if you want, but freehand is fine. And so I've got my rockets coming down here to the end, to the bottom part, to where I have my rocket, my ellipse at the bottom. Again, I'll do it over and over again until I get about the right shape that I want, and I can erase then everything around it till I get my ellipse that I need, and so I can darken that. And so then I've got my three booster rocket circles, one here, one up a little bit to the left, and so I'll do that one up here to the left a little bit, and then one toward the bottom a little bit bigger. This is your center booster, really is what it is. All right, and I've got, you notice how they have the lines here. That's for each side of this one. All right, so that means that middle part, again, I can get rid of. And so you see it allows me to see the that part. And then I have another line coming to this one. Now this one's blocked. And so you'll see once I come through the middle here to make that outside, and this one is behind that one there, so I don't need this part in the middle and the front here, and I don't need that in there either because that's being covered by this one. So you can see now the edge that you've got here, and I erase that little bit in the behind there. Okay, and so I've got my ellipses that I've got for the booster rockets. Okay, and this one is giving me the other part of the circle. Okay, so that part there, because that's in front, and then in this one you can see even a little bit, they don't show you that one because of the shininess. Now you don't need to do this coloring part if you don't want to, but the whole idea then is to add the fins for the rocket, and so we can do that with greatest of ease by adding. And so you got this part, okay? Then you've got one over here, a little bit shorter one because of the angle where it's showing from, all right? And so you have your, you can shade them if you want, and I'll maybe try shading a little bit similar to what they have here, just to give it a little bit better vision as to what it looks like. I'm going to darken some of these lines like I said in my instructions here. Redraw lines firmly, erase unwanted lines. And so I've got my idea of my rocket there. I'm going to erase these unwanted lines on the outside here, making that a little bit straighter. I can close up my lines on the fin here. Okay, and then draw my top point, and I'm going to get rid of the part behind because I just need that edge in the front and this edge in the front, and then bring the top of the rocket. This would be the top part right here is where the capsule would be. That would be this part, but we're not doing that in detail. We're just doing the rocket itself. And so can do this, can put a little elliptical curve here. All right, and so you get an idea of the rocket, of how it's supposed to look. Now I would remove these lines on the inside because that fin is covering that part, so you don't really see that. I'll get rid of these and darken this ellipse. Darken this part, that part. I'm going to get rid of some of this line in here to get rid of those erasure marks, or those the faded parts, the sketched in parts. All right, and so it's asking, I think that one's a little bit off from what I want, so I'm going to do this. Well, that doesn't look correct, so I'm going to leave that because the other ones are showing from the other angle. Everything's from that angle, so we'll leave that empty, put that like there. All right, and there I've got my thing. If you want to add your USA down, oh, I guess there's another line below if you're going to try to draw the other information in there, like the U and the S and the A, and then another ellipse here, and then you've got your lines you could do. I'll just draw this line here and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about as far as drawing these lines here. All right, and that's a little bit thicker, and then about the same in here. Okay, and so you can do the really dark areas here. Gives you a little bit better understanding of what it is as far as the rocket itself, putting a little bit of design on it. You notice how they have a little bit of shaded then on this part, so it's lighter, and try to make it as even as possible. I'm not really taking too much time to make it look really nice because of the video, but you got that, and see that kind of gives you a little bit more definition. Doing the flag, of course the flag is on the ellipse angle as well. All right, and of course it'd be hard to actually do it, but you can get the idea of the stripes and everything. at least get somewhat of an idea of the flag itself. And so maybe sharpening the pencil a little bit would help with that. Other ellipses that are there. Probably a little bit higher on that one. All right, so you got that one there. It's about the same distance, and because it's on a curve, I'll get rid of that other dark line there, and then put in another one down below it, about where, see, this is a little bit off as far as completely the same size as the other one, but it gives you a good idea. And so you have that, and that is your assignment for this particular project number 20. All right, thanks a lot.